Good evening and welcome. Hello. Let me adjust my microphone. There we are. Hi, everybody. Hello and welcome to the library for the evening. My name is Nessa Noxx. I am the Silver Succubus. Hashtag Snaccubus. It is a pleasure to have your company this evening. I'm a fantasy variety streamer, aspiring voice artist, and very close to the microphone tonight. How are we all doing? Mwah. Dragon, I see you. Viv, hello. Sans, Rashid, welcome in, everybody. Grab a seat, grab a snack, get comfortable. Tonight we are doing a mythology reading. I will be doing some ASMR trigger sounds as well as people come in. Good evening. I'm very good. I'm very good. Very good indeed. Thank you so much for asking. I am fantastic. I have recently made some changes to my desk setup. So I have my new boom arm installed and I have my new webcam tripod set up. So we're all technologically advancing around here. Yes, we are technologically advancing. Let's go. So I hope the volume is good with everybody's headphones. I hope the volume is going to be fine tonight. I thought we could sit by the fire. A little bit of sitting by the fire and just having a chat, you know? Just getting nice and up and close and personal. How are we all feeling? How's the week treated us? Congratulations on reaching Friday. It is the end of another week, which means the opportunity for adventures and possibly anarchy on the weekend. I wanted to say rioting, but let's save that for my BRBs, shall we? So, I have everything set up this evening, ready to go. I hope everybody is comfortable and looking forward to spending tonight with me. I am very much looking forward to jumping back into where we sat about a week or two ago, I think, was the last time I read some mythology to you. Did some little triggers for you, so here we are. But yes, I hope you're well. I hope the day has treated you good, the week has treated you even better. And tonight, if it hasn't, just know that you are completely safe and able to be comfortable in my vicinity. I've set up the mansion with many a safety spell. Trust me, no adult problems can come in here. Everything is going to be wonderfully calm and chill, and the vibes are just... We like the vibes. It's a good vibe. So I thought that I could actually get started with some... I could either get started with the reading, or I could perhaps start with some triggers to wait for people to trickle in. I always have so much fun when I get to do ASMR evenings. I do thoroughly enjoy testing out my microphone's capabilities. And that's, there you go. So you can't hear my dogs tapping around. My microphone is too good. It picks up all my beautiful canine familiars and feline familiars within the lair, within the mansion. So what am I drinking this evening, you might ask? What are we drinking? Ooh, Jesus. We are drinking We are drinking Coperberg Rosé Hard Cider, 8.3%. Wish me luck and pray Let me cast a spell. Give me one moment, my delicious mortals. Whoosh. It is time for the fire to cease. Cease yourself, fire. Cease. Very good. Here we are. Here we are. Right. Everybody ready? We're gonna open the drink together. Here's to getting through another Friday. Here's to getting through another week. My hands are too wet to open it. There we go. So, grab your drinks and get comfy. Let's start with some triggers. So the first trigger that I have for you this evening, the first trigger that I will be using is I went through my mansion and found some delightful objects to play with. I have a wooden incense holder. Let me turn my microphone up a little bit. Oh, Jesus. Every time I tap it, my VTuber model opens her mouth. This incense holder has been with me for many years. And it smells very nice because it's wood, so it has absorbed the smell of all the incense. It has a flower of life, sacred geometry design engraved in the middle. Sacred geometry is quite beautiful. I do like the flower. Thank you, dragon. You're such a wonderful, wonderful dragon. Another thing that I found in my lair, in my mansion, I found the incense that I use in the incense holder. Fancy that. Incense is called the richness of nature. Masala. It's Indian incense. It smells like relaxation. some ASMR triggers before we get into the mythology reading for the evening. Just because I like to have fun and experiment with stuff. Another thing that I found in my lab was an eagle feather. This eagle feather came directly off of an eagle, matter of fact. So, there is that. Jesus Christ, that's a bit loud, sorry. The trigger's a little hard to do, but let me see if I can work it. Hang on. That's kind of okay. Eagle feather is what I use to waft the smoke. You know, like I move the smoke of the incense around with the feather. So know how loud to be during ASMR. Some people like it when I whisper. Other people like it when I use my soft voice. So let's do soft voice Nessa for a while, shall we? A little bit of loudness getting up in here. One of my favourite triggers is actually the sound of the ocean. And I know that we are in the living room right now. And where's the ocean from here, you might ask? Well, I'm magical, so don't ask questions, just enjoy it. Yeah, I used to have a brush that actually sounded like the ocean when I moved it against my microphone, and I don't know where that brush is gone. This brush doesn't sound as nice. Just imagine I'm stroking your head then. Nice little head strokes. My sweet little souls. Does it feel nice when I give you headpats, chat? You're always giving me so many headpats, so I figured I'd give some back to you. Something to relax you before I get into reading. I think I'm going to move the microphone away a little bit and we'll probably get into the ASMR reading section of the evening, if that sounds good with everyone. Alright, how do we move this thing? This is brand new, so we're working with it. There we go. Good morning, hey. Welcome to the day. You got me up close and personal to the microphone this evening. Well, this morning. I was just doing some ASMR triggers. I wonder if you like ASMR triggers. Because I was just doing a few. Happy Fanboy Friday, it's today. Well, let's go, we love a fanboy. Tonight we are going to be reading from Bullfinch's Mythology. We have done a few streams of this so far. I might. Well, let me know what triggers you like, hey, because I'm always trying to perfect my craft. And as it stands, I am pretty average at ASMR, I would say. Pretty averagely average, so there's that. So, where did we get up to? In the mythology section, you might ask. Last we left off, we were talking about Callisto? I'm not entirely sure where. Oh, that's where we were up to. My favorite. Artemis and Action. It really seems right that Acti should be in the chat if I'm talking about someone called Action, but there is that. So we can affirmations and scritches. Oh, I was just doing head scritches. Do you want some more? Hold on before I get into the reading. Put my bookmark back in my book. Hold on, let me find my brush. I mean, brush? No, this is me giving you actual head pats. All you have to do is lay back and enjoy them. Loofah. Hold on. Would it help if I told you how much of a good boy you are? While I give you head scratches? Hmm? What if I told you how special you are to me, Jam? Hey, what if I told you all the times that you get me to riz you? Just improves my craft. Oh, Dragon, I hope you get better soon. Apologies for streaming you Fast and the Furious whilst I ASMR. That's what I get for living where I live. I hope you get better soon, Dragon. Oh, and a kiss for Hay as well. So wonderfully. You're absolutely killing it in life. You're doing so great. I'm very proud of you. Oh, you just want to give me kisses every day. Oh, you're very sweet, Dragon. Very sweet indeed. Good evening, General. Thank you so much for the lurks. I appreciate you. I appreciate it. Thank you for lurking. Alright, now if everyone has sufficiently had head scritchies and know that they're absolutely bloody wonderful, let's get on with a reading, shall we? Alright, so. That's my bookmark. You can't really hear it very good. I don't want to chunk it against the microphone. You're very sweet, hey? Alright, so for the mythology reading this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we have the story of Artemis and Actaeon. Thus, in two instances, we have seen Juno's severity to her rivals. Now, let us learn how a virgin goddess punished an invader of her privacy. For those of you that may not remember, Juno was one of Zeus's wives, I believe. It was midday, and the sun stood equally distant from either goal, when young Actaeon, son of King Cadmus, thus addressed the youths who with him were hunting the stag in the mountains. Friends, our nets and our weapons are wet with the blood of our enemies. We have had sport enough for one day, and tomorrow we can renew our labours. Now, while Phoebus parches the earth, let us put by our implements and indulge ourselves with a rest. Absolutely, General. More wood for the fire, thank you. We should actually keep it crackling in the background whilst I read. I need to cast my magic again. Give me an uno momento, fire. You may resume warming me. Muchas gracias. Muchas gracias, por favor. My delicious ones, if you require me to ease the fire or to emblazon it further, just please let me know if you're too hot or too cold. All right. There was a valley, thick, enclosed with cypresses and pines, sacred to the huntress queen, Artemis. In the extremity of the valley was a cave, not adorned with art, but nature had counterfeited art in its construction, for she had turned the arch of its roof with stones as delicately fitted as if by the hand of man. A fountain burst out from one side, whose open basin was bounded by a grassy rim. Here the goddess of the woods used to climb when weary with hunting and lave her virgin limbs in the sparkling water. One day, having repaired thither with her nymphs, she handed her javelin, her quiver, and her bow to one, her robe to another, while a third unbound the sandals from her feet. Then Crocale, the most skilful of them, arranged her hair, and Nephele, Yale, and the rest drew water in capacious urns. While the goddess was thus employed in the labours... Let me just adjust my mic. While the goddess was thus employed in the labours of the bathe, behold Actaeon, having quitted his companions, and rambling without any special object, came to the place led thither by his destiny. As he presented himself at the entrance of the cave, the nymphs, seeing a man, screamed and rushed towards the goddess to hide her with their bodies. But she was taller than the rest and overtopped them all by a head. Such a colour as tinges the clouds at sunset or at dawn came over the countenance of Diana, thus taken by surprise. Surrounded as she was by her nymphs, she yet turned half away, and sought with a sudden impulse for her arrows. As they were not at hand, she dashed the water into the face of the intruder, adding these words, "Now, go and tell, if you can, that you have seen Artemis unparalleled." Immediately a pair of branching stag horns grew out of his head. His neck gained in strength and length. His ears grew sharp-pointed. His hands became feet, his arms long legs. His body was covered with a hairy, spotted hide. Fear took the place of his former boldness, and the hero fled. He could not but admire his own speed, but when he saw his horns in the water, "Ah, wretched me," he would have said, but no sound followed the effort. He groaned, and tears flowed down the face which had taken the place of his own. Yet his consciousness remained. What shall he do? Go home to seek the palace, or lie hid in the woods? The latter he was afraid. The former he was ashamed to do so. While he hesitated, the dogs saw him. First Melampus, a Spartan dog, gave the signal with his bark. Then Pemphagus, Dorcius, Laelaps, Theron, Nape, Tigris, and all the rest rushed after him swifter than the wind. Over rocks and cliffs, through mountain gorges that seemed impracticable. He fled, and they followed. Where he had often chased the stag and cheered on his own pack, his pack now chased him, cheered on by his huntsmen. He longed to cry out, "I am Actaeon, recognize your master," but the words came not at his will. The air resounded with the bark of the dogs. Presently one fastened on his back, another seized his shoulder. While they held their master, the rest of the pack came up and buried their teeth in his flesh. He groaned, not in a human voice, yet certainly not in a stag's, and falling on his knees, raised his eyes, and would have raised his arms in supplication, if he had had them. Give me a second, chat. I have to rearrange my mic stand because it's falling on me. Okay, I think I've improved the situation. Let's hope so. I was holding my microphone for literally about 5 minutes while I was talking and reading the story. I could get to a bit where I could take a break and fix my microphone. Oh my god. Give me a second. You know what we're like out here. We're out here whiling as per usual. Right, back to the story. His friends and fellow huntsmen cheered on the dogs and looked everywhere for Actaeon, calling on him to join the sport. At the sound of his name he turned his head and heard them regret that he should be away. He earnestly wished he was. He would have been well pleased to see the exploits of his dog, but to feel them was just too much. They were all around him, rending and tearing, and it was not till they had torn his life out that the anger of Artemis was satisfied. She tends to be a little bit of a decisive mistress when it comes to it. There's a reason that she is my patron deity, my delicious sweet mortals. There is a reason that the goddess Artemis created me from what I was to what you see before you now. I am a lunar naiad. I worship the deity herself, so it's not surprising that should someone come along and try to get a peek of her for $3.99, she should turn them into a stag to be eaten by his own dogs. Well, these are the things. What can you do, goddesses, am I right? Anyways. The next story that we have is entitled Latona and the Rustics. Before I move on, does anyone have any questions about the previous story I just read? My only word of warning would be not to take too long of a peek once a naked maiden, unless ye have the permission. Lest something terrible befall you as well. My goodness. Latona and the Rustics. Some thought the goddess in this instance more severe than was just, while others praised her conduct as strictly consistent with her virgin dignity. Oh, S, you're fine. That I asked the question and I figured I'm here for ASMR. People are just relaxing anyway. No need for questions. As long as you've got access to this buffet of snacks and some good old story reading. As usual, the recent event brought older ones to mind, and one of the bystanders told this story. Some countrymen of Lycia once insulted the goddess Latona, but not with impunity. When I was young, my father, who had grown too old for active labours, sent me to Lycia to drive thence some choice oxen, and there I saw the very pond and marsh where the wonder happened. Nearby stood an ancient altar, black with the smoke of sacrifice, and almost buried amongst the reeds. I inquired whose altar it might be, whether of Faunus or the Naiads, or some god of the neighbouring mountain, and one of the country people replied, "No mountain or river god possesses this altar." But she, whom royal Juno in her jealousy drove from land to land, denying her any spot of earth whereon to rear her twins, bearing in her arms the infant deities, Latona reached this land, weary with her burden and parched with thirst. By chance, she espied on the bottom of the valley this pond of clear water, where the country people were at work gathering willows and osiers. The goddess approached, and, kneeling on the bank, would have slaked her thirst in the cool stream, but the rustics forbade her. I'm your buffet. Hey, nice to know. Nymphs have many similarities to succubi. Traditionally, a succubi is more of a demonically tailored being, whereas a nymph is more of a mythologically tailored being. The nymphs are protected by the goddess Artemis, and there is a difference between nymphs and naiads, so that is why I specify myself as a lunar naiad, the lunar aspect ascertaining to the goddess Artemis, and naiads are traditionally lake nymphs, so there's specifics, I guess. So I'm a little of both. I'm a mythological. I'm a little mythology, a little demonology. You never know what you're getting with me. But yeah, there's quite a few similarities actually. They tend to be quite protective of their energy, lest they give one permission to access it thus. Nymphs are traditionally quite beautiful beings as well, blessed by the goddess herself, and thus attract quite the unwanted amount of attention. They have nothing but worship and respect for their deities, very similar to succubi. And they also, I would say, have an energy exchange in a sense, in that the more that people worship their goddess and believe in the nymph, the more powerful their abilities become. Some nymphs have different powers. Next, welcome by the way. The snack buffet is just up in the back there. You can also grab blankies, but we have the fire burning. Welcome in. And Beast, welcome in. What did you miss? I did some ASMR triggers. I got up very close and personal to the microphone, kind of like I'm doing now. I did some little head scritchies and some affirmations, and then we started reading Mythology. Next, Beast, I hope you're doing well, by the way. Yes, that was a very good question. Now, we left off at Latona at the lake, just trying to get herself a little sippy sip of the water. Can relate. Love myself some water. Ooh. But the rustics forbade her. Wanky's already? Good boy. Why do you refuse me water? She said. Water is free to all. Nature allows no one to claim as property the sunshine, the air, or the water. I come to take my share of the common blessing. Yet I ask it of you as a favour. I have no intention of washing my limbs in it, weary though they may be, but only to quench my thirst. My mouth is so dry I can hardly speak. A draught of water would be nectar to me, it would revive me, and I would own myself indebted to you for life itself. Let these infants move your pity, who stretch out their little arms as if to plead for me. And the children, as it happened, were stretching out their arms. Mwah. Thank you, dragon. Who would not have been moved with these gentle words of the goddess? But these clowns persisted in their rudeness. They even added jeers and threats of violence if she did not leave the place. Nor was this all. They waded into the pond and stirred up the mud with their feet so as to make the water unfit to drink. Latona was so angry that she ceased to mind her thirst. She no longer supplicated the clowns, but lifting her hands to heaven exclaimed, "May they never quit that pool, but pass their lives there." And it came to pass accordingly. They now live in the water, sometimes totally submerged, sometimes raising their heads above the surface or swimming upon it. Sometimes they come out upon the bank, but soon leap back into the water again. They still use their bass voices in railing, and though they have the water all to themselves, are not ashamed to croak in the midst of it. Their voices are harsh, their throats bloated, their mouths have become stretched by constant railing, their necks have shrunk up and disappeared, and their heads are joined to their bodies. Their backs are green, their disproportioned bellies white, and in short, they are now frogs, and dwell in that slimy pool. And that's how frogs came to be. Don't take it as fact, don't take it as fact, don't quote me, but there you go, that's how frogs are made. That's where frog babies come from. Next, we will be moving on to Chapter 5. That completes Chapter 4 of Bullfinch's Mythology. We are going through the stories of gods and heroes. Currently, we are going through the Greek pantheon. Something like that. I think it's the Greek pantheon. Greek/Roman. Don't come for me. This book is actually quite old now, and I'm very glad that I'm getting a chance to read it. Alright, shall we move on? Next is writing a script right now. Perfect background noise. Oh, I love it. That's great. I'm glad I can be good background noise for you. I love it when you guys are active with your creative endeavors. It's exactly what we need. So, Chapter 5, Phaeton. Phaeton. We'll say Phaeton. One of those weird A and E's with the... It's got an E with 2 dots on the top. Does that mean I pronounce it like eh? Eh. Perfect background noise, and I'm just over here like eh. Let's say Phaeton. I think it's Phaeton. Let's just go with that. It sounds like cheese. I'm gonna say yeah. Okay. Phaeton was the son of Apollo and the nymph. You know what? We're gonna skip this story because it's got some names that I can't really read. If I can't even pronounce Phaeton, my goodness. Oh, here we go. No, this is a good... Let's tell you the story of... Let's go to Chapter 6 instead. Let's skip that whole shebang. Everyone knows the story of Midas, King Midas. Yeah? I'm about to serve it to you hot and fresh with the facts. Now, Bacchus, on a certain occasion, found his old schoolmaster and foster father, Silenus, missing. The old man had been drinking, and in that state wandered away, and was found by some peasants, who carried him to their king, Midas. Midas recognized him and treated him hospitably, entertaining him for 10 days and nights, with an unceasing round of jollity. On the 11th day, he brought Silenus back, and restored him in safety to his pupil. Whereupon Bacchus offered Midas his choice of a reward, whatever he might wish. He asked that whatever he might touch should be changed into gold. Bacchus consented, though sorry that he had not made a better choice. Midas went his way, rejoicing in his new acquired power, which he hastened to put to the test. He could scarcely believe his eyes when he found a twig of an oak, which he plucked from the branch, become gold in his hand. He took up a stone. It changed to gold. Now, the book says he touched a sod. It did the same. Don't ask me what a sod is. He touched a sod. Did the same. Turned to gold. He took an apple from a tree. You would have thought he had robbed the garden of the Hesperides. His joy knew no bounds, and as soon as he got home, he ordered the servants to set a splendid repast on the table. Then he found to his dismay that whether he touched his bread, it hardened in his hand, or put a morsel to his lips, it defied his teeth. He took a glass of wine, but it flowed down his throat like melted gold. Creative endeavour is creating a cambion. If only I had some help. I don't know what a cambion is. What is a cambion? Hey, can you tell me what a cambion is? Oh yeah, so it might be a clump of dirt. Maybe I should ask Google. In consternation at the unprecedented affliction, he strove to divest himself of his power. He hated the gift he had lately coveted, but in all vain. Starvation seemed to await him. He raised his arms, all shining with gold, in prayer to Bacchus, begging to be delivered from his glittering destruction. Bacchus, merciful deity, heard and consented. Go, he said, to the river Pactolus, trace the stream to its fountainhead, there plunge your head and body in, and wash away your fault and its punishment. He did so, and scarce had he touched the waters before the gold-creating power passed into them, and the river sands became changed into gold, as they remain to this day. A cambion is an offspring between a demon and a human. I see. Ah, that's why you need some help, hey. Well, I'll hit up one of my demon girlfriends. I'll see if one of them's game, shall I? I mean, I'm not a true succubus, so... Good evening, Nexus. Thank you for the hunches. Good evening, good evening. I hope you are well. Let's talk about reproduction at the reading night. Come on now, just take advantage of the free buffet at the back. Get your minds out of the gutter. An instant gold inflexible set of clothes would have prevented him from doing damage, while also giving him quiet realization of the curse while he had time to ask it reversed. See, these are things I would have collected the golden loaves of bread. Much to my... Well, here's the thing. You don't know with these gods and these goddesses. So what happens, let's say I go out and I get 100 loaves of bread, and I can pay for those loaves of bread with my golden loaves of bread. So I end up with 100 loaves of gold, essentially. Now when Bacchus takes away my gift, do they turn back into bread? Do they stay gold? Do you know what I would have stockpiled a little literal bread for like a rainy day. That's just me, though. That's just me. Perhaps I have my eye on a feast already. Where's Asmodeus? Thank you for the stretch, Viv. And the hydrate, I got you. Oh, 2 hydrates, everyone. Clearly you can hear my mouth sounds. Serby, my one true loves. Yes, well. With a man of varied tastes, it does not surprise me that you prefer to have all of the tastes in one package. Now, S, my question would be, would a gold inflexible set of clothes essentially be armor? Like, what classifies armor? Is armor if it's made out of metal? Or is armor metal and enough to protect you? Gold and inflexible clothes to me sound like a armor, but I'm genuinely not sure. I like being able to eat. He was already a king, but he wanted more. He was a very greedy king. He is a very greedy cat on occasion, apparently. If Noxx was Midas, I think I would just unalive myself, honestly. Well, at least you would be leaving the world with a golden statue of yourself. Lest it be in a precarious situation when it leaves the world. Good is too soft to make. Yeah, gold. Yeah. But that's the thing. It doesn't have to be good armor. Just does it classify as armor? What is the base classification for a set of armor? Does it have to be made of metal? Because they have leather armor sets. So is armor something that's protective? In which case it wouldn't be, because gold is soft. These are conversations. These are the questions I ask. What the fuck is wrong with me? I'm like, yeah, but what really classifies armor? These are conversations we need to have. I mean, armor technically, yes. But it would essentially function as a straitjacket if it's inflexible. True. You value the treasures in your life? Very good. Very good. We always know so little of our treasures until they disappear from our general vicinity. Even metal armor would have non-metal flexible parts. Yes, yes, yes. Just have to be a protective set of clothes. Ah, there you go. Well, armor is just protective material, yeah. Well, that is good. I suppose I really shouldn't be asking such a question when I myself have armor that is made of two different materials. I myself, as the silver succubus you see in front of you, actually have metal and bioorganic armor. So, yes, technically the armor that I'm wearing is not all gold. It's not all metal, but it is still armor. It's protective. Like, imagine putting on a onesie, then boom, it's gold. That would be awful because, like the snuggy things you can wear or the hoodies, like, they already feel quite drowning to me. I don't like to feel like I like weighted blankets. I really like having a weighted blanket on my bed. But when it comes to something like that, I imagine that would be too claustrophobic, a bit too heavy. Chainmail, plate, leather, and even thick cloth. Yes, these are all classic RPG things that I should know. I ask questions I already know the answers to. All the comfy gone west. Exactly. So Midas had the wrong idea. Midas was out here being a little greedy gods. So let's finish his story, shall we? Therefore, Midas, hating wealth and splendor, dwelt in the country and became a worshipper of Pan, the god of the fields. On a certain occasion, Pan had the temerity to compare his music with that of Apollo, and to challenge the god of the lyre to a trial of skill. The challenge was accepted, and Tmolus, the mountain god, was chosen umpire. This is funny. The senior took his seat and cleared away the trees from his ears to listen. At a given signal, Pan blew on his pipes, and with his rustic melody, gave great satisfaction to himself and his faithful follower Midas, who happened to be present. Then Tmolus turned his head towards the sun god, and all of his trees turned with him. Apollo rose, his brow wreathed with Parnassian laurel, while his robe of Tyrian purple swept the ground. In his left hand he held the lyre, and with his right hand struck the strings. Ravished with the harmony, Tmolus at once awarded the victory to the god of the lyre, and all but Midas acquiesced in the judgment. He dissented and questioned the justice of the award. Apollo would not suffer such a depraved pair of ears any longer to wear the human form, but caused them to increase in length, grow hairy within and without, and movable on their roots. In short, to be on the perfect pattern of those of an arse. Huh? Basically, he gave him donkey ears. Yeah, Midas be out here needing to, like, finesse his wording a little bit. Has he never seen, like, any movie that gives you 3 wishes, or, like, things with, like, a cursed monkey paw? Rashid, you're playing Pokemon. Let's go. What's your favorite Pokemon? This boom arm, I swear to fucking God. Oh my God, this boom. Midas is absolutely getting fucked. He's like, no, but that was #1 on my Spotify Wrapped. And Apollo was like, I'm not even gonna deal with your shitty taste in music, brother. Like, a donkey is. Yeah, pretty much. First can't even touch his weenie, then his weenie gets turned into like a donkey dick. Well, would that be such a bad thing based on what I've heard about these crazy fucking porns these days? Anyway. Mortified enough was King Midas at this mishap, but he consoled himself with the thought that it was possible to hide his misfortune, which he attempted to do by means of an ample turban or headdress. But his hairdresser, of course, knew the secret. He was charged not to mention it and threatened with dire punishment if he presumed to disobey. Yo. He found it too much for his discretion to keep a secret, so he went out into the meadow, dug a hole in the ground, and stooping down, whispered the story and covered it back up. Before long, a thick bed of reeds sprang up in the meadow, and as soon as it had gained its growth, began whispering the story, and has continued to do so from that day to this, every time a breeze passes over the place. Yo, for real though. Midas is just not. He's just not having a good time. Oh hi, how are you? I am an English VTuber, so I'm sorry I don't understand what you've put in chat, but welcome. Konnichiwa. How do I say hello in Korean or Chinese? I need to learn how to say hello in a couple of different languages. But welcome. I only speak English. Midas was the king of Phrygia. He was the son of Gordius, a poor countryman, who was taken by the people and made king in obedience to the command of the oracle, which had said that their future king should come in a wagon. While the people were deliberating, Gordius, with his wife and son, came driving his wagon into the public square. Gordius, being made king, dedicated his wagon to the deity of the oracle and tied it up in its place with a fast knot. This was the celebrated Gordian knot, which in after times it was said, whoever should untie should become lord of all Asia. Many tried to untie it, but none succeeded until Alexander the Great, in his career of conquest, came to Phrygia. He tried his skill with as ill success as others, till growing impatient he drew his sword and cut the knot. When he afterwards succeeded in subjecting all Asia to his sway, people began to think that he had complied with the terms of the oracle according to its true meaning. Well, I kind of feel sorry for that for the people who were trying to untie it for the first 100 years or so. Oh, it means good evening and nice to meet you. Thank you so much. Good evening. Good to meet you as well. My name is Nessa Noxx. I am the Silver Succubus. I am a fantasy variety streamer and an aspiring voice artist. Welcome to the stream for the evening. Who are you asking is okay, Rashid? Who are you worried about? There should be no need to worry. There's no need to worry at all. We've got a whole buffet of snacks behind me. I am going to get up and have a stretch in a second before we begin the next chapter of things. Yes, thank you, Dragon. Right on time. Right on schedule. For those of you who might be new, feel free to chat or lurk. I also have commands in my info box. So if you type in CMDS, I think that works. Is that? Let me test it. Hold on. And a hydrate. I got you. I got you. Perfection. Also, if anyone here is a member, I do have a new members video that just went up, and I'm asking for opinions on what kind of content you might want to listen to or games that I should play on the member streams. But other than that, I do have a new audio going up tomorrow, which is exciting. I'm excited to be uploading another YouTube audio because I haven't uploaded one in a hot second. I've been focusing on my streams and my ASMRs. Honest on voice, thank you. I appreciate that. My honest on voice has been getting a little rough this evening. I'm not used to being this close to the microphone. I'm not used to having to like talk softly. My voice wants to do a whisper or talk loud, but it doesn't like being soft like this. So I will return soon. I'll be back in like 2 minutes because I'm going to get up and stretch and grab a bottle of water. Chat, if you haven't already, as much of a snack as you are. Make sure you're eating and hydrating and stretching while you watch my stream, please. Oh, Nexus, that's good. It was lovely. Good, good, good. You're gonna... I know you'll give me some good suggestions. You're a good one. Thank you, Nexus. Alright, I shall return soon. In the meantime, allow me to increase the flames a little to keep my delicious mortals warm in my absence. Wisha, wisha, wisha. Oh my goodness, I can't even deal with me. I don't know how you guys put up with me, honest to God. I appreciate you all putting up with my madness. I'll be back soon. Welcome back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. I cast a little bit of a magical spell, a little bit of a find it for me spell, a little bit of accio, as you will, as you muggles might or might not call it. I cast a little bit of an accio ASMR brush, and look what I found. I like this brush the best. Welcome back, General. Thank you, Viv. I appreciate you. And the head patties. Give you some, let me give you some head patties in return. Head scritchies. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Thank you. Welcome back to the stream. I took a bit of a break to get myself stretched and hydrated. Anyways, how are you feeling? The day that I scream into the microphone unwarranted will be the day that you all unfollow me. You're not here for the screams into the microphone, surely not. I mean, there's other things that I do into the microphone that you can only find on my Patreon. Patreon.com/NessaXVA. All my links from my websites. Since you're always telling me to promo myself shamelessly, self-promoting, so there you go. I'm going to find another cool story. Oh, well, they even have a picture of Actaeon in here with his little doglet. I think the story of Persephone may be next. Joke's on you, I'm half deaf, so it wouldn't even be that bad to me. Matter of fact, I'm blind in my right eye. I can't even see you clearly, sir. Matter of fact, I didn't see nothing. Better than yesterday, at least. That's something. That is something. I'm giving all of you who haven't had the best week a really big hug, okay? Let me put these magical hands away. Come in, bring it in, chat. You all deserve a big hug for getting through the week. Enjoy a different kind of screaming. Exactly. It's not like your girl isn't out here doing her best. I have a housemate. I'm a well-mannered housemate. I don't like to make things awkward. Anyways, so the story of Persephone could be a good one to move on with, I think. Everyone familiar with the story of Persephone? That is her Greek name. Her Roman name is Proserpine. When Zeus and his brothers had defeated the Titans and banished them to Tartarus, a new enemy rose up against the gods. They were the giants Typhon. Hey, I wonder if you've used one of these names as inspiration for your Overwatch tag. They were the giants Typhon, Briareus, Enceladus, and others. Some of them had 100 arms, Others breathed out fire. They were finally subdued and buried alive under Mount Etna, where they still sometimes struggle to get loose and shake the whole island with earthquakes. Their breath comes up through the mountain and is what men call the eruption of a volcano. The fall of these monsters shook the earth so that Pluto was alarmed and feared that his kingdom would be laid open to the light of day. Allow me to elaborate. Pluto is Hades. Pluto is his Roman name. Hades is his Greek name. Well, thank you, Dragon. Nexus, you're about to be. The fall of these monsters shook the earth, so that Hades was alarmed and feared that his kingdom would be laid open to the light of day. Under this apprehension, he mounted his chariot, drawn by black horses, and took a circuit of inspection to satisfy himself of the extent of the damage. While he was thus engaged, Aphrodite, who was sitting on Mount Eryx, playing with her boy Cupid, espied him and said, "My son, take your darts with which you conquer all, even Zeus himself, and send one into the breast of yonder dark monarch, who rules the realm of Tartarus. Why should he alone escape? Seize the opportunity to extend your empire and mine. Do you not see that even in heaven some despise our power? Minerva, the wise, and Diana, the huntress, defy us. And there is that daughter of Ceres who threatens to follow their example. Now, do you, if you have any regard for your own interest or mine, join these two in one." The boy unbound his quiver and selected his sharpest and truest arrow. Then, straining the bow against his knee, he attached the string, and having made ready, shot the arrow with its barbed point right into the heart of Hades. In the Vale of Enna, there is a lake, embowered in woods, which screen it from the fervid rays of the sun, whilst the moist ground is covered with flowers, and spring reigns perpetual. Here is where Persephone was playing with her companions, gathering lilies and violets, and filling her basket and her apron with them, when Hades saw her, loved her, and carried her off. She screamed for help to her mother and companions, and, when in her fright she dropped the corners of her apron and let the flowers fall, childlike she felt the loss of them as an addition to her grief. The ravisher urged on his steeds, calling them each by name, and throwing loose over their heads and necks his iron-coloured reins. When he reached the river Cyane, and it opposed his passage, he struck the river bank with his trident, and the earth opened and gave him a passage to Tartarus. Ceres sought her daughter all the world over. Bright-haired Aurora, when she came forth in the morning, and Hesperus, when he led out the stars in the evening, found her still busy in the search. But it was all unavailing. At length, weary and sad, she sat down upon a stone, and continued sitting 9 days and nights in the open air, under the sunlight and moonlight, and falling showers. It was where now stands the city of Eleusis, then the home of an old man named Celeus. Ah, yes, just your classic kidnapping, why not? Came from an anime called Apple Seed, but I know the mythology as well. Very cool. I'll have to look up Apple Seed, educate myself on it. I have actually been watching a show based on an anime lately. Now, Celius was out in the field gathering acorns and blackberries and sticks for his fire. His little girl was driving home their 2 goats, and as she passed the goddess, who appeared in the guise of an old woman, she said to her, "Mother," and the name was sweet to the ears of Ceres. "Why do you sit alone here upon the rocks?" The old man also stopped, though his load was heavy, and begged her to come into his cottage, such as it was. She declined, and he urged her. "Go in peace," she replied, "and be happy with your daughter. I have lost mine." As she spoke, tears, or something like tears, for the gods never wept, fell down her cheeks upon her bosom. The compassionate old man and his child wept with her. Then he said, "Come with us, and despise not our humble roof. So may your daughter be restored to you in safety." "Lead on," said she. "I cannot resist that appeal." So she rose from the stone and went with them. Appreciate you for the likes, Nessa. See you soon. As she walked, the man told her that his only son, a little boy, lay very sick, feverish and sleepless. She stooped and gathered some poppies. As they entered the cottage, they found all in great distress, for the boy seemed past hope of recovery. His mother received the goddess kindly, and the goddess stooped and kissed the lips of the sick child. Instantly the paleness left his face, and healthy vigour returned to his body. The whole family were delighted. Hold on, sorry. There's like weird words in here, I don't know. They were delighted. They spread the table and put on it curds and cream, apples and honey. Oh, they're out here having poppy juice up in their milk. Hello. Sheesh. Give me a little bit of that. Give me a little bit of that tasty poppy milk. Opium milk. New and better for you. While they ate, Ceres mingled poppy juice in the milk for the boy. When night came and all was still, she arose and, taking the sleeping boy, moulded his limbs with her hands and uttered over him a solemn charm, then went and laid him in the ashes. His mother, who had been watching what her guest was doing, sprang forward with a cry and snatched the child from the fire. Then Ceres assumed her own form, and a divine splendour shone all around. While they were overcome with astonishment, she said, "Mother, you have been cruel in your fondness to your son. I would have made him immortal, but you have frustrated my attempt. Nevertheless, he shall be great and useful. He shall teach men the use of the plough and the rewards which labour can win from the cultivated soil." So saying, she wrapped a cloud around her and mounted her chariot and rode away. Yeah, damn. Ceres continued her search for her daughter, passing from land to land and across seas and rivers, till, at length, she reached to Sicily, whence she at first set out and stood by the banks of the river Cyane, where Hades himself made a passage with his prize to his dominions. The river nymph would have told the goddess all she had witnessed, but dared not, for fear of Hades. So she only ventured to take up the girdle, with which Persephone had dropped in her flight, and waft it to the feet of the mother. See, river nymphs, naiads be out here doing the god's business, but like trying not to be the middleman. She's like, well, I don't want to get on Hades' bad side, but I also kind of want to tell Ceres where her daughter might be at, so I'm just going to waft this downriver and just see what happens. It's one of my streams, right? And if you came in and there wasn't ploughing going on, I'd be severely disappointed. Good evening, Rain. I hope you're well this evening, my sweet, sweet mortally love. Welcome in. We are reading Mythology. I attempted to do ASMR triggers earlier. Yo, what's a dryad? A dryad is a forest nymph. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, a land nymph. A dryad is technically there are stories of dryads where they've been harassed and they've just turned into a tree to get away from the harassment. So there is that. Yeah, the land nymph. And then yeah, so that's a very good example of what a naiad, like how a dryad is a land nymph. A naiad is a lake nymph. There you go. Specifics, y'all. Heard about mounting chariots and just sat there like, God damn, guess I can plow. Oh my goodness, ain't no plowing going on. Ain't nothing, ain't no plow. If you aren't plowing such a fertile field, are you truly watching a silver succubus stream? Exactly. Hi, Rain. Nothing but fertile fields around here, baby. So, she sent it downriver to the fate of the mother. Ceres, seeing this, was no longer in doubt of her loss, but she did not yet know the cause, and laid the blame on the innocent land. Ungrateful soil, she said, which I have endowed with fertility, and clothed with herbage and nourishing grain. No more shall you enjoy my favours. Then the cattle died, the plough broke in the furrow, the seed failed to come up. There was too much sun, there was too much rain. The birds stole the seeds, thistles and brambles were the only growth. Seeing this, the fountain Arethusa interceded on behalf of the land. If Hades kidnapped me, I'd love it. Well, next there might be an opening. You never know. Goddess, said Arethusa, blame not the land. It opened unwillingly to yield a passage to your daughter. I can tell you of her fate, for I have seen her. This is not my native country. I came hither from Elise. I was a woodland nymph and delighted in the chase. They praised my beauty, but I cared nothing for it, and rather boasted of my hunting exploits. One day I was returning from the wood, heated with exercise, when I came to a stream silently flowing, so clear that you might count the pebbles on the bottom. The willows shaded it, and the grassy bank sloped down to the water's edge. I approached and touched the water with my foot. I stepped in knee-deep, and not content with that, I laid my garments on the willows and went in. While I sported in the water, I heard an indistinct murmur coming up as out of the depths of the stream, and made haste to escape to the nearest bank. Yeah, if you've got a problem with your seed not coming up, there's a hotline you can call. Give me a second, I'm going to have a drink. Alright. Oof. So she escaped to the nearest bank, and then the voice coming out of the stream said, "Why do you fly, Arethusa? I'm Alpheus, the god of this stream." I ran. He pursued. He was not more swift than I, but he was stronger, and gained upon me as my strength failed. At last, exhausted, I cried out for help to Artemis. "Help me, goddess! Help your votary!" The goddess heard and wrapped me suddenly in a thick cloud. The river god looked now this way and that, and twice came close to me, but could not find me. He cried my name. Oh, how I trembled like a lamb that hears the wolf growling outside the fold. A cold sweat came over me, my hair flowed down in streams. Where my foot stood, there was a pool. In short, in less time than it takes to tell it, I became a fountain. But in this form Alpheus knew me and attempted to mingle his stream with mine. Good evening, Jay-Z. Good evening, my love. So everyone's coming in at real seedy parts of the story. But in this form, Alpheus knew me and attempted to mingle his stream with mine. Artemis cleft the ground, and I, endeavouring to escape him, plunged into the cavern and through the bowels of the earth, came out here in Sicily. While I passed through the lower parts of the earth, I saw your Persephone. She was sad, but no longer showing alarm in her countenance. Her look was such as became a queen, the queen of Erebus, the powerful bride of the monarch of the realms of the dead. Greek mythology requires you to have a poncho if you're in the first 5 rows. It is a splash zone. When Ceres... When Ceres heard this, she stood for a while like one stupefied, then turned her chariot towards heaven, and hastened to present herself before the throne of Zeus. She told the story of her bereavement and implored Zeus to interfere to procure the restitution of her daughter. Zeus consented on one condition, namely that Persephone should not, during her stay in the lower world, have taken any food. Otherwise, the fates forbade her release. I like Greek mythology too. I'm currently reading from Bullfinch's Mythology. It was published a while ago, and it contains many pantheons, all the way from Greek and Roman through to English, Nordic. I think some Spanish stuff's in there too. It's got a whole bunch of mythology, basically. I can't tell why if it's CD without being told. Yo, you're probably the better one to read this one than S, because every time I read something, I can't help but like giggle like I'm a little kid or some shit. I'm just out here giggling like a little fucking he said penis. You mained Aphrodite on Smite. Let's go. I haven't played Smite in a hot minute. Would you say Aphrodite is your favourite goddess? Jay-Z? Who's your favourite god or goddess? Everyone, do we have favourites? I think it's obvious that my favourite feminine presence would be Artemis, and my favourite male or masculine presence would probably be Poseidon? Maybe Poseidon? Haven't played Smite in a long time. Now, Zeus was like, yes, hey, using my whole name. What is going on here? And it's got 2 X's, by the way. There's 2 X's in Noxx. Just so you're aware. You mean Cthulhu? Let's go. Overwatch just got their latest season and it's Cthulhu themed. Cthulhu themed. Aphrodite's goals. Don't tell your family, they'll kick you out. Your secret is safe with me next. Don't even worry. Aphrodite is goals. She be out here just doing her own damn thing, and it's all about attraction when it comes to Aphrodite. Patron goddess of the planet Venus, by the way. Does Xena warrior princess count? Well, tonight it's Fantasy Friday, so yes. If you want Xena warrior princess to be your favorite, fucking let's go. She can be whatever you want her to be. So, Ceres went to Zeus. She's like, can you get my daughter back? He's like, can do, Seville, baby doll, as long as she hasn't eaten anything, because otherwise the fates are going to be angry. So, accordingly, Mercury was sent, accompanied by Spring, to demand Persephone of Hades. The wily monarch consented, but alas, the maiden had taken a pomegranate, which Hades offered her, and had sucked the sweet pulp from a few of the seeds. This was enough to prevent her complete release, but a compromise was made, by which she was to pass half the time with her mother and the rest with her husband, Hades. Ceres allowed herself to be pacified with this arrangement and restored the earth to her favour. Now she remembered Celeus and his family, and her promise to his infant son, Triptolemus. God damn. Old Tripto. When little Tripto grew up, she taught him the use of the plough and how to sow seeds. Took him in her chariot, drawn by winged dragons, through all the countries of the earth, imparting to mankind valuable grains and the knowledge of agriculture. After his return, Tripto built a magnificent temple to Ceres in Eleusis and established the worship of the goddess under the name of the Eleusinian Mysteries. Jesus. Eleusinian Mysteries, which in the splendour and solemnity of their observance surpassed all other religious celebrations among the Greeks. There can be little doubt of this story of Ceres and Persephone being an allegory. Persephone signifies the seed corn, which is then cast into the ground, lies there concealed, then reappears, and Spring leads her back to the light of day. She's kind of a representative for kind of putting the seed in the earth, waiting for it to grow. It's where the seasons came from. It's why we have the seasons how they do be at the moment: spring, summer, and then autumn, winter. So basically the tale goes that when it is winter, that is when Persephone has retreated down to the underworld, and as such her mother Ceres, who is essentially similar to Gaia, she gets sad because her daughter's not around, so things get cold. That's kind of where that whole mythology comes from, hence the seasons, basically. I'm your favorite goddess? Damn straight. I love the temptress skin on Aphrodite. Sounds delicious already. It's already got me tempted. What the hell? Why am I living on an absolute fucking racetrack this evening? I'm so sorry. It's always the times that I want to do ASMR that I get rev heads coming through my neighborhood like, too fast, too furious. I'm like, not tonight, brother. Come on now. Come on now, goddamn. Now, I have a question to ask y'all. We can keep it going with the mythology, or I can go back to some ASMR triggers, or we can do like a little ASMR kind of, like a little ASMR ramble. I could talk to you about things and you could get me to say specific words. I could try to say them like ASMR style. Don't get me to say anything too dirty or too illegal, okay? I don't want to get yeeted off YouTube. I really should check out Smite again though. But you've got options. Let me know. Do you want more reading? Do you want triggers? Or do you want rambling? Reading, triggers, or rambling? Let me know below. Maybe I should put a poll up. I'm never good with these. Oh, that last option. Yeah. Yeah, give me that last option. Nessa boss face. I'm only just seeing that now. Alright, so we've got one vote for rambling. Unfortunately for y'all, it won't be a ramble fat. That's only available on my Patreon. Rambling sounds good, but I do love the reading. So do I. I do love the reading, but it's getting a little much for my eyes, so I think I need to take a break for a second, or perhaps just like... So if you'll vote for reading, I'll pretty much just take a 5-minute break to give my eyes a second. But rambling, vote number 2. There we go. We've got 2 votes for rambling so far. It's not like I don't love reading, but the writing in this book is quite the small print. Cameron says unlucky. I can't be unlucky. I have everyone's company this evening. Cameron, I hope you're doing well, by the way. Welcome to the stream. Yeah, for whatever I want to do. Classroom apothecary. Thank you, S. That was really enjoyable for me, actually. I do have a few triggers that I've got waiting for the end of stream for when I send you off into the world. I do have a few triggers that I did in that one that I really enjoyed. So, thank you so much for the feedback. I definitely, I would definitely be keen to do another stream like that at some point. I think that was like half rambling, half roleplay. Yeah, small print is just like, I'm so here for it, normally. But when you're just reading pages and pages of actual mythology, it's like, wow, this is making me squint a little too much. Don't see a poll. Do we just vote in chat? Yeah, just vote in chat, because the last time I did a poll, I didn't know how to end it. So yeah, just let me know in chat. We've got 2 for ramble so far. The other choices are reading and triggers. The apothecary stuff made you think of Skyrim. You just wake up one day and I'm opposite you in a cart. And I'm just like, yep, well, we're here now. Welcome to the world, traveler. Watch out for the dragons. There be dragons. There but for the grace of dragons go we. Rambling. Alright, bet. Ramble is the winner. Rambling. I got you. I'm always good at rambling. Ramble. Okay? Alright, bet. We got you. Alright, let me ramble for a hot minute. Ramble or reading? Alright, Cameron, I got you. I will probably go back to reading towards the end of the stream, but we'll take a little ramble break for a minute, I think. That's a good idea. Would rather isekai devour in special story and world. Well, that's what I try to do with every one of my streams. Isekai you guys into a nice little area. Yeah, let's go for a wander. Let's get out of the living room for a bit. Let's get out of the living room and go for like a little wander. Dun, dun, dun. Where do you want to go? We can go to the forest. Yo, yes, let's go to the forest. Sha sha. Here we are. Members only Zelda playthrough. Am I ever going to play Zelda though? Probably not. I'll tell you that I enjoy watching it sometimes, but that's only for kind of like the cutscenes in the story. I don't know that I'm a Zelda fan. One day maybe. You never know. You never know. Alright, let me ramble for a second. We're all out here knowing that your girl has acrylic nails and she can't really use her mechanical keyboard very well. The mechanical keyboard that I have is a Keychron C1. Don't get me wrong, not a bad keyboard, but hard for me to use with my big talons, my big claws. So we bought a new keyboard. Brand new, flat, like Mac style keyboard. If you know the type, if you know, you know. It's a real one style type of keyboard, and for whatever reason, I got used to it because I was using my laptop. So you girls out here like, fuck mechanical keyboards. I can't wait for my flat one to come. Next minute, I go online and they've got cute ass keycaps. It's like a little pig and like a little ghost and like paw prints and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay, maybe we'll just buy a couple of keycaps and put them in my cart. And then I kind of saw these pink HyperX ones on sale when I was getting my keyboard, my flat one. I was like, maybe we'll add those to the cart. They were on sale, very good price. And then I discovered pudding keycaps. Oh, the glory of pudding keycaps. They look so soft and squeezy. And then I was going to invest in different switches, but I decided not to. I just got a bunch of O-rings to make my brown switches not so clicky. Oh my god. I'm not into mechanical keyboards, but I now know a lot more about mechanical keyboards than I knew like a week ago, okay? And I have a new coiled cable coming that's got like the aviator, the screw aviator joint. I'm actually excited. I put the pink keycaps on my keyboard and they're cute. Yo, so I'm looking forward to plugging in my new keyboard. But this one, I think I'm that silly bitch now that's like, yay, keyboard customization. Because I'm also going to take all the keys off before the blue pudding caps come in. I'm going to take all the keys off. I'm going to cover up all the switches. And I'm going to spray paint it rose gold. Oh, oh. You might wonder why. You might think, Nessa, rose gold's a bit of a specific colour. Yeah, it fucking is. Yeah, it fucking is. Do you know why I can do it? Because I want to do it. And I'm going to do it. Because I've got a can of rose gold spray paint out in my shed. And YOLO. So, there you go. Almost got lost. Oh, General, that's true. We're wandering through the forest now. I really should have let everyone know back at the mansion. Apologies. Yeah, you got some wood and we all wandered into the forest. We're all out here getting wood now. I'm so sorry, General. Oh my goodness. Yeah, look, leave the wood in a pile. And I figured we'd come out here for a little bit of fresh air. And then when we go back to the mansion, we shall take that pile of wood that you've gathered, cast it onto the flames and keep ourselves warm. Thank you, General. Yes, that is a very good question to those in chat who play Zelda, which unfortunately I do not. Thank you for the head patties, General. Appreciate you. Oh, gee. Head patties and head banged my mic. Apologies. That's my bad. MB. So, I shall be plugging in my flat keyboard over the weekend and finally being able to game. I can finally game this weekend. I have not been able to use my keyboard properly. I have struggled. It's not like I've lost any games. The only 2 games that I got queued that I actually wasn't support and I was tank, they're the only 2 games that I've won in the last fucking 2 days. Don't come for me. I'm a powerful tank. Ooh, flexes muscles. But it's been a struggle and a half to play even basic Genshin navigation and combat. So I'm very keen. But at the same time, I really kind of like the clicky-clacky, like fiddly fuckiness of the mechanical keyboard. So, yo, I am mad. I'm going to spray paint it rose gold, put the keys back in, switch them out between the white, the black, the blue, the pink. It's all the kind of theme I've got going on in my PC. Except for right now, if you go into the server, let me put the server link up just in case I've got newbies that haven't joined the Sanctum. We do also have a Discord, and I posted in the banter channel the other day kind of what my PC is looking like color theme wise. I will also be posting the progress shots on my Patreon because I will be posting them in the member layer for those of you who are on Discord, like part of the YouTube members, and then I'll be posting them on my Patreon because it's because of you guys that I was even able to build the thing. But I got a pretty picture in there, and it's got a picture of me and my computer, and it's pretty fucking daddy to look at. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Twilight Princess is your favorite Zelda game? Was that the one that was on the Wii? Was Twilight Princess on the Wii? I swear to God it was. Ocarina of Time is number 2. Boygies. So when I finally do get back into playing my games, I'm very much looking forward to it. There's a couple events so I kind of want to just like melt into, and gaming is my happy place. It does make me feel guilty sometimes when I'm playing a game and something's happening, like story-wise or, I don't know, entertainment-wise to me. I always feel guilty if I'm not streaming it. I always feel guilty if I'm making advancements in my life and I'm not like sharing them, sort of thing. So I do apologize if I don't have as much of a regular uploading habit as I would like to across the platforms. But it's because I'm just working out my groove still after everything. And because gaming is my like happy and relaxing place, then sometimes it can get stressful when I stream and game. That's why I'm really liking that we're doing these ASMR nights now, and it's not a constant like having to work out what I'm going to play every single night. Sometimes it's nice just to have the night off and chat to you guys, have a ramble, like not really do anything super serious. I'm always thinking about food. We eat some Mythology. I was reading for about an hour, I think, and then we're just taking a break right now. And then I'll probably go back to Mythology soon. It's just because I'll be real with y'all, I was getting bored. I'm the streamer, so if I'm getting bored, it's probably 100% guarantee 1 or 2 of y'all are going to be out there getting bored, so I'm gonna just keep it real and be like, well, my eyes are getting sore and I need to take a break, which they were, but I was also like, man, this is starting to feel like school rather than like relaxing entertainment. So we will be returning to Mythology, probably in like 10 or 15 minutes or so. Stretch, I got you, Viv, I got you. That's right. Pokemon and such. Don't much care for first-person shooters. Are you looking forward to the new Final Fantasy that's coming out? Alright, I've stretched. I need to buy a new chair. constantly sitting on this thing. Hey, chat, which one of you wants to replace my chair? Damn, that's a fucking loaded question. Nobody answer that. Put your things away. Nobody answer that question. Yo, for real though, I've been enjoying the vibes that we've been having lately. I've really been liking kind of getting back into that comfy zone with gaming again. So the final step is gonna be able to like plug in a keyboard that actually fucking works to play them. Some of this shit's just not the same with the gamepad, you know what I mean? And then once that's kind of where it is and we're heading into March, like, I think I'm going to have a much better routine with things. And I'll actually have figured out by then what games I kind of want to put my energy into that are on the side. Like now I've got Black Swan in Honkai. I'm just like, well, see you in 6 months. I kind of want to go back to Genshin again. I took my break. I want to go back to my comfy little alternate time. Yeah, exactly. Hey, that's why I was like, nobody answered that question. I already know that the answer's already gonna. Oh well, it's fine. That's what I get. What's up, Velvet? You're playing the Unicorn Overlord demo. How did that go? Was it fun? Welcome in, welcome in. Give some head scratchies to everyone who's newly arrived back. Little head scratchies. I think this one's better head scratchies. It's awesome to play. That's good. That's good. That's good. It's always nice when you find new games that are like actually awesome. Considering it's just a demo. Like Arise, we were playing that the other night. If any of you tuned in on Wednesday to watch me play Arise, I was actually thinking how good that game was when it came to like the linear navigation of it with like the time manipulation. Like I'm genuinely looking forward to creating more videos where I go through and kind of just do like an ASMR playthrough of a game where it's not like on stream, it's just me playing the game. Hopefully, like if they're short ones and like one solid playthrough, if not 2 or 3, like Alice would be 2 or 3, but it would be like, play this with me. And it's essentially like I'm walking you through it while also talking about what I like about it. And then it's like a semi-tutorial as well. You know what I mean? Kind of one of those things. Giving you more art ideas. I am going to be excited for whatever you create. Oh, the new Final Fantasy is an alternate timeline. I got you. Thank you, Dragon. Appreciate you. You're very sweet. I do so love the air out here in the forest, don't you, chat? Why don't we all take a nice big deep breath together? I'm going to breathe in and out. One more. Breathe in. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh. This is why I don't do it. So I end up fucking with you and then making myself laugh, which then makes me snort laugh, and then I embarrass myself on the internet. But here we are. Yo, if you already know the artist, can you can you send me a link of their page or like stuff they've done before? I want to see what their style is. You got one that you sent me already that was pretty cool of. Yo, actual, we can do something fun and funky while we're here. We can do something fun, funky, a little funky fun. What up? Oh, that's actually a really good idea. My ADHD fired up just then. Literally, I just got the idea. How fun would it be if we did a stream? It could be for ASMR or it could be for members only or whatever. I could hook up my tablet and just have like my little paint screen up on the screen. And then I could like draw things for you guys and then send them to you in the Discord. That could be fun. Yeah, sweet. Sounds good, hey. Sorry, my ADHD fired up then. I'm gonna show you guys one of my favorite artworks of mine. It's probably gonna come up massive. Eastein's massive. Yep, there it is. All up on the screen looking huge. Ah, there it is. This is one of my favorite artworks of me. The reason it's one of my favorites is because it really it really sort of shows like that cute bratty side of my personality that's just like me doing something naughty in trouble couldn't be me. I pull that face like, so if you turn the hands around like, no, I didn't draw this. I did not draw this. No. Let me put a little. Hold up. If you go to my website, it's linked. It's also up in the server. The guy's name. Let me put it up in here. So this dude is on Fiverr. That's his name. That's the artist's name. So he drew this for me. He also drew the other one that's in the same style that you see on the starting soon screen, I think. Oh no, it's I changed it. I think it's on one of my other ones now. This one. He also did this one. And he did another one, but you're gonna have to be part of my Patreon if you want to see that, because I can't show that on YouTube. Oh no. YouTube would yeet me in a heartbeat if I showed my not safe for work art on here. But this artist has also done a not safe for work piece for me, and I intended on commissioning him again this year for a couple more pieces. Just depending how life went for me, basically. Life and finances and everything. Cute and smug. Yeah, smug's the word I'm looking for. Uber late. Don't even stress. Kyle, welcome in, Kyle. Don't even stress about being late. Everyone is good. We're all chilling out. Enjoying a little bit of the ASMR. Ass and myrrh. You know how it is. Let me change this. So that little smirky one is probably one of my favorite artworks. I'm gonna be real with y'all. And then my ones that are on the starting soon screen, I'd say. This artist, I really liked the style of what they did. Like the actual, let me make this big so you can see it, the detail in it. See how it's like, it looks like paper, like it's printed, like the brush is like a papery kind of, I don't know, I just really love the fucking style of it. So the artist that did this for me was Ticket Please. This is one of the first artworks I got commissioned when I came into the community. If you're wondering who the vampiric gentleman is in front of me, that is Isaka Valentine. He streams on Twitch. Aisaka. Thanks, it's like Kyle. So I think I want to hit this artist up for another one at some point too. I've got a couple artists that I've worked with that have given me really cool art that I really enjoy. I just need to get a couple more done that I can use on my YouTube. Like different ones I can use for my YouTube thumbnails and actual videos. Maybe like horizontal ones. I want a cute little gaming one like me, my little silver succubus self, just like gaming like me. I think that'd be cute. Next, your mic just came in. Let's go. Let's go. That's exciting. I love it when new peripherals and new technology come in. I'm literally streaming to you from my new boom arm, which kind of is good and kind of is not good. It's you gotta tighten it and loosen it with a little fucking Allen key. God damn. Acty, little bro's in the building. How we feeling? I could ask you the same question, little bro. We're feeling good. We are here. We're feeling good. I brought everyone out into the forest so we could get some fresh air. A little bit of fresh air. All up in our lungs. I was reading Mythology earlier, which we will probably go back to before we cease stream for the eve. I've just kind of been rambling a little at the request of chat. They wanted a little bit of an ASMR ramble. Chat does work, see what I mean? So stream elements will pick the nights when it wants to work and when it does not want to work. We can do our best when it comes to it. We can do our absolute best when it comes to technology, but do you think it's ever going to work in our favour? Honestly, you don't feel super great. You overslept today and it feels bad. Kyle, I know the feeling. I do it all the time. And sometimes you'll feel like if you aren't awake at a certain time, then it's pretty much that's it for the day. Like, the day's already over. Just make the most of the rest of whatever day that you can. And try not to feel too guilty, because sometimes your body forces you into resting when you've actually been using your brain heaps, and you schedule something for the next day and you're like, all right, yeah, I'm good to go. Like, I want to do this tomorrow and I'm going to wake up at this time, get this accomplished, blah, blah, blah. Fast forward to the next morning and you're waking up like past lunchtime, past 2 o'clock, past whatever the fuck. And you're like, I had that thing on my list. And now I'm like, the day's already, that thing is still, you can still conquer it the day after or the day after that. But sometimes your body will be like, yo, give it a day, because we want to give you that brain space. So even better inspiration might be able to pop into your head in the meantime. And then you're working smarter, not harder. No boogies hanging from chat's nose this evening, as far as I can tell. Everyone's boogie free, baby. Acty's adapting. We love it. It's because he always asks me to talk about it. Acty, it's fine. Oh, you're doing yoga instead of muscular endurance and biking instead of running. Compromise is key. We can always still accomplish those things that we love to do, but sometimes we cannot push our bodies past, what it's able to adapt to. So I really am proud of you, Acty, for adapting. Absolutely proud of you. Because that's working smarter, not harder as well. To have something not start or continue or whatever the way that you were planning it to give up is not the solution. To have a day forced upon you might not be your ideal solution, but it's better than you sitting there willingly giving something up. It's better to say to yourself, I'm going to take today for a break for me because I deserve it. And then I can come back to said task tomorrow. Take it from someone who is constantly shifting tasks to the next day, to the next day, the next day. But I'll never book things in that are super important and flake on them, because I'll plan them for times, like ahead times, when I know like that's my day for doing that. I just try not to time things anymore. The day's chat. Yes, a reminder, if you do want to give me some head patties, thank you, S. Or a hug, thank you, Kyle. All you have to do, Mwah, dragon. All you have to do is type in chat. Just a little slow in chat tonight, I'm sorry. Motivation is for my like going to work. You gotta do it. You gotta do it and get you done. This is true. Procrastination do be a real harsh mistress. Let's just say that. Procrastination is a harsher mistress than I, that's for damn sure. But yeah, there are things you got to get it done. We don't like it, but we got to do it. It's adult life. It still does help to try to find joy in that which you might find as a non-negotiable. Because if it is a non-negotiable over time, you just putting up with it could turn into you resenting it. If you find little joys or moments of learning or confidence in the things that you aren't necessarily super keen on having to do, like I think about future me and I'm like, look, I don't want to do this right now, but future me is really going to appreciate this. And sometimes I have to think about it that way because I've had it and I can't give you specifics because I'll end up fucking doxing myself somehow. But I've set things up in the past where then I've come back to it at a later stage. I'm like, yo, past Nessa had this on lock. Past Nessa knew I'd knit. Thank you, girl. You got this. So that's what you need to do sometimes. You'll need to realize that, like, biting the bullet can actually end up hurting your teeth. Let's just say that. If you bite the bullet, you could end up with a bigger dentist bill. Then that's the easiest way I can say it, and that's going to come off fucking weird, but I think it's because I've also just been in situations and scenarios where I've just been like hating something, and then that hate, like, not hate, but just not appreciating the way it's making me feel, and then that turns into hate and resentment, and I'm just like, meh. And then the paycheck, it's not even worth it. I don't want to get paid for fucking something that's making me feel like an awful person, or something that's not like relaxing. If you've got to go do it every day, you got to try and make sure it's something that you can 5% tolerate at least. You just want to play Elden Ring, but you get angry you can't be the boss. That's the honesty right there. Like, I want to be an adult, but I also just want to play Elden Ring. Been without a drive for a few days. Another hitter. That's the thing. So, inspiration and motivation, I've said it a million times. I'll say it again. It's like the ocean. It comes in, comes out, it ebbs and flows. That is also dependent on your... Astrologically, I could get into it, but there are a lot of factors that are affecting our energy, our motivation, all at once. And rather than hoping and praying for another hit of inspiration or motivation, tell yourself that it will come in the next few days. Tell yourself that it will. Don't just hope. Because that's like saying, oh, I hope I win the lottery. Like, okay. And that's a stupid example. Because that's way off. Or it's like, you could say something like, I hope I find my dream job. And that's fine. That doesn't really give the universe specifics. You got to be like, I will find my dream job within X amount of time. You got to give the universe fucking specifics and semantics, because then half the time it puts your own ass in gear to get this shit done, and the other half of the time it allows the universe to send shit your way that you're actually going to need. Because if you don't go to a takeaway place and just sit there and ah at the menu. You generally go somewhere knowing what you want. If you're getting in your car to drive there and get food, you're probably going to know what you want off the menu, yeah? Same concept works for the fucking universe and when it comes to manifestation and motivation. Unless you know what you want, you're just going to fucking sit there stuck in the drive-thru of life. Consistently. Sorry, I dropped my paintbrush. I don't get it. No regrets. Self-expression is another hard thing. Because it's completely up to interpretation as well. You can express yourself correct to you, but then that wouldn't be correct to someone else. And then their correct expression of themselves might not be correct to you. It's all personal fucking... It's all iffy when it comes to that shit. Need space to reset, recharge. Exactly. Exactly. S brings up another good point. Bullets may also cause poisoning depending what they're made of. You can't just leave stuff to then get worse, I guess. I would, but there's this thing around me. Whatever I think, believe is almost always disproven. Hence why I usually stick so close to pessimism. I'd rather be a pessimist who's disproven rather than an optimist who's disproven. Why do you have to be a pessimist or an optimist? Why can't you be a realist and notice that there's a 50-50 of both in life? Just because I love that there are some people that are looking at the cup half full. There are some people looking at the cup half empty. Mate, I'm grateful I've got a cup and it's got water in it. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So it ain't about being proven right or proven wrong or anything like that. I can definitely see why it would be a safer way, because then if you live on the side and err on the side of caution, then of course if something happens that's not totally awful, well, you got proved wrong. But that also doesn't really set yourself up for many big wins, does it, Kyle? I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I've come from a family of pessimists. I've no idea. Do what you want, don't care around. Yeah, exactly. There's a billion people in the world, and good chances you're probably like not going to bump into every single one of them at the shops every time you go there. We on that real shit. That's what we do around here. Say ASMR and we should change it around to like ARSM. It's like, real shit, man. S agrees, more on the side of caution. Kyle's dealing with academics and pain. I'm thinking that study streams isn't something that I would necessarily do, but I encourage you guys to search for study streams and to download an app to your phone called, well, it's not even an app, really. You can get an app that's like a forest one where it grows a little tree for you the longer that you're off your phone not using it. But technically, what it utilizes is the Pomodoro technique, which I've mentioned before. I dropped my brush again. It utilizes the Pomodoro technique, and that's 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of break. And I highly recommend interjecting something like that into your own timeline when it comes to study, because as someone who's studied as well, regardless of whatever you're doing, but like that little 5-minute break that's like scheduled, because otherwise you just like study, and then it all just turns into gobbledygook in your head. The 5 minute gives you a sec to like sit up, reflect, whatever else. But then slowly over time, you can increase your concentration level. And then it doesn't really come so much from a sense of procrastination rather than just your brain being hardwired to work for a certain amount of time. Also enjoy what you're given. Life gives and life takes. It's up to us what opportunities... It's up to us what we find opportunity in, basically. It's not always gonna... You don't always have to sit down and be happy with what you've got. That's not what I'm saying at all. My realistic point of view with the cup having water in it whatsoever is the fact that there are people in worse positions than I am, but there are also people in better positions than I am that are still doing the whole, oh, well, my cup is... Blah, blah. Sometimes you've just got to look at what's in front of you, and I look at my cup full of water, and that water is energy, not life being good or life being bad. I'm glad that I physically have some energy to do something. It's just because I've watched a lot of people around me get sick. I've also been sick. Spent like too much time being physically and mentally not able to do a lot of things. And so now I don't like to look at cups in any positive or negative sense. Really. Sometimes I just get thirsty and I just want to drink the water that's in the cup. Nearly impervious to any lasting emotional damage. Yeah, so emotional disassociation is definitely a helpful set of armor to wear. It's a helpful shield wall to put up, and it does make you feel kind of like, okay, well, I'm resilient, water off a duck's back, blah, blah, blah. But then that kind of, as content creators, you need to be able to have the ability to emotionally invest. Otherwise, you won't produce anything that's really 100% true to you. Agne's back. Oh, and I'm not specifying Kyle like just as a like singling him out. I'm saying like you as a generality, like chat you. So if you go at things with this state of like standoffishness, like you do need to have some sense of like emotional investment in some things, even though sometimes, yes, there's setting yourself up for disappointment or heartbreak, but that's kind of what life's about. That's what the good thing about being a human compared to like a goldfish is. Like people will be out here like, oh my God, I hate emotions. I'm like, cool. Or you could just be a goldfish with like no emotions and a 10-second memory. Which would you prefer? Like, I'm sorry, do you not want to experience the glorious range of emotions that come with being like a moving meat sack with a fucking heart and a brain, and like we literally formed and evolved from animals that were like little microbes a billion years ago? And people be out here like complaining, and I'm like, do you realize how much of a blessing human existence is? Hello? Alright. Nah, but you worry about your first world problems, that's fine. Sorry, this is tipsy me coming out now. I'm starting to get a little fucking bratty. People around you give you strength, and just spending time around people helps you feel better. Especially if you can help others in some way, since your life's win condition is making the world happier. Well, there you go. At least you have something where you get that emotional fulfillment, because you do need to feed your soul as well. You need to feed your heart and your spiritual happiness, your own love for yourself and what you do and who you are. It all needs nourishment. And then obviously that streamlines into what you do, which makes the world happier. Adulting is hard alone. Find someone to... go. Wait. Nessa tipsy witch Noxx. That's right. Oh my God, I become too much of a witch when I drink. Let's just say that. Something you can adult and or be childish with. Once again, I'm not going to get drawn down the track of the whole relationship talk. One of the most self-sufficiently rewarding times in my life was when I was alone and I didn't have someone. I've been in a relationship almost consistently. Well, okay, it was until everything happened. From the age of like what, 13 or something? 13, 15, somewhere around there, consistently in relationships until the age of like 20, 25 or 26 or some shit. When all this shit with my ex happened. Long time ago. After I was just there in my own silence, in my own aloneness, in my own company, it's fucking depressing. It's fucking hard. First couple days, the first couple weeks. Heartbreak fucking sucks. Being alone sucks. But you know what sucks even worse? Being subjected to horrible fucking energy every day that doesn't belong to you. And that can happen regardless of if you find that someone and you're like, oh my God, we're having fun. We're having so much fun and I love this and this is amazing. And then one day fucking you say something or do something and they take it the wrong way or they rub you the wrong way and see you later. Like, I just wish that people weren't so focused on like, oh, I have to have someone. Just please just find that sense of okayness just in you, and then that will attract someone else to you. Otherwise, you're just going to attract someone to you that wants to take advantage of the state that you're in, which is pretty much like, I'm not okay unless you love me. That gives them total fucking control over you for life. And I ain't even out here chugging. This is real talk. Like, I'm, what, a drink and a half in? Come on now. All you chug is water and liquid. Jeez. You don't know how many relationships I jump into. Acty, I appreciate you, but you don't know my personal life. Come into my lowly little mortal. Feed on you. I mean, feed you. Hayes a prolific dater. You guys have been in relationships? I'm 32 this year. Yes, I've been in relationships. It was depressing. I only knew loneliness. There's being alone and there's being lonely. People mix the two up. Just because you're alone doesn't mean you have to be lonely. Maybe I'm biased because I've kind of formed like a connection to my spiritual team almost. So I constantly feel my guides there. I constantly feel my spiritual team around me. Perhaps that's why I'm a little more biased as to the fact that I'm like, you should just be happy with your own company, blah, blah, blah. I also semi-grew up as a single child, so it's not really... The day Next broke up with his ex was the happiest day of your life. Preach. Thank you, Rain. What kind of juice? I'm drinking juice too. Exactly. Take your time for diving into relationships. Absolutely. Some things are best left in the past, but the thing that I'm thankful for is that I can now kind of sit here and be like, well, this happened, and I'm not currently going through it. So that's my looking at my cup like, I've still got my cup. That's one thing that didn't get smashed to pieces. Literally. Hey, will be 34. You rob me of my solitude, but offer no companionship. Exactly. Kyle's still 19. Come on now. Comparatively, you're still... Fuck me. If I could go back to when I was 18, the advice I would give myself, I'll tell you for nothing, I wouldn't have listened to me. Because there were people giving me that advice when I was that age, and I didn't listen to them. But there's shit that there's shit that happens, and you don't realize until you're already in it, or you've already gotten fucked up from it and you're out of it. That's what life is. Hard-ass lessons to learn, but the best thing is it shows you what you don't deserve. So then you up your standard and you level up. Boop, 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 boop. you level up in life and you level up the energy that you are then going to attract. If you're sitting there as someone who's like, just let's say that you're smoking every day and you're drinking every day and you don't exercise. If you sat there and you're like, I want someone that's going to like bring me out of this, that's going to like motivate me out of this, what kind of person do you think you're going to attract? You're going to attract someone that literally sees someone that can easily be manipulated and be like, oh, okay, well, if they want to get rid of smoking, drinking, fucking not exercising, whatever, yeah, I can help you with that. I can mold you into whatever person I want you to be. But if you sit there and you're like, I smoke every day, I drink every day, and I don't exercise, I'm going to make a change on this. Flash forward to 3-6 months in the future, and you've said no to everyone that's approaching you for dates and shit, just being like, right now I'm sorting myself out, I'm getting myself in a good position, let me hit you up in a couple of months, let's pin this and return to it. I'll tell you this for fucking nothing, free advice, you are always going to attract a better fucking partner when you are happy with you. You can't seek it in anyone else. And if someone comes in, like, yes, they can add to your happiness and they can make you like you, they can make you a better person, they can make everything fucking wonderful. But you have to already be okay with who you are as a person before you're going to meet someone that's actually not going to try to manipulate you or take advantage of you for their own needs. Exactly, you can still be around a whole crowd of people and be lonely. Some of the loneliest people in the world are some of the most popular cunts. You'll never hear that from celebrities. Personal space, but connection is good. Absolutely. Hey, I agree, and thank you for the hugs. But baby. Exactly, Actie's 23, so he's down there in the early 20s as well. Rain chose to be with them, not to want to end loneliness because it made you happier, and she pushes me exactly. So if you've got someone that already sees what you're working towards and pushes you for the better version of that, we're here for it. I still got a lot of young'uns in my chat. Don't be coming out here thinking that I'm saying that life is awful and this and that and don't ever fall in love. No, trust me, do. But just know that whatever love you attract is generally a reflection of the love you're showing yourself. I've been with men, I've been with women, I've been with those that identify as both, I've been with those that identify as neither. I've been with people long distance, I've been with people short distance. As I said, I've been in relationships since I was 13 years old. That does not mean, oh, I was 13 dating like a 19-year-old. No, when you know what I mean? Like primary school relationships, high school relationships. I've never not had fucking someone that I was holding hands with or macking on with or whatever the fuck. Do you know what I mean? Like, come on now. So the times in my life that I have spent by myself has actually been like a fucking holiday for me. Fucking holiday for me. I wish I could get back my 20s. But I spent all of my 20s with one person that I thought was going to be my one person, and it turned out not to be my one person. So I wish I could get my 20s back, but that ain't going to happen. So now I just got to live my 30s like I'm in my 20s. Seek an equal, not a goal. Absolutely. I'm liking everything you guys are putting in the chat right now. Absolutely, Kyle. That doesn't mean that everyone is 100% free from judgment, but everyone is 100% worthy of love. Everyone has that capability within themselves to, like, no one deserves to, unless you've done something really, really, really fucking awful to the world and you choose to do that, there's no real reason to kind of come at things without the perspective of let's just kind of be nice about it. You know what I mean? Sure, change diet for her safety. You just gotta have patience. Pretty much, Next. You've been without cheese for the last 5 hours. Gods. That's not a world I want to live in. Thank you so much for the kisses and hugs, guys. Mwah. Absolutely, you got the rest of your lives, and sometimes stuff happens, and you don't. Things just don't pan out the way you planned out. Is life, baby? But the good thing is, most of you are in your early 20s, so you've got plenty of bloody time to let the universe know exactly what you want from it, allow it to manifest in whatever form it chooses to for you, and then go from there. Congrats on spending your 20s with a person, though. I'd rather not have, but thank you. I wouldn't be who I am without everything that's happened, but I also wouldn't have a lot of the anxieties and PTSD that I have. So, again, good and bad. Good and bad. You spend your 20s with someone, and then you get towards the end of your 20s, and that's not the person you met when you, like, unfortunate reality is you're going to be growing up with people. You're constantly going to be growing. It doesn't matter what age you are. You're always going to be growing. You're always going to be becoming something different. No one stays the same forever. But most of the change happens when you're in your early 20s. And those are the peak kind of times where people have that real, like, crazy, hard, like, I love you and this is everything to me and we're going to be together forever. And you feel unconquerable. And then things happen and people change. Someone gets a job, someone starts drinking, someone, you know, like, just someone gets a different friend, someone chooses not to, like, go down the same route that their partner's going down. Like, things happen. Sometimes it is wonderful and you get those cases where it's like, my mum and dad met in high school and they've been together ever since and they've been married for 55 years. Sometimes you get really nice stories like that and I fucking love that. You know what I mean? If you find the soul that you vibe with and it's a for real vibe and you can grow together in a positive way, all for you. You know what I mean? Like, I am happy for those that have that. That's not what I got in my 20s. But I'm happy to know it exists because it means that I can be proven wrong. It means that I don't have to become a jaded person because I can literally see proof that what happened to me doesn't exist as a constant reality for other people. Yeah. When you're with someone, the hard reality is you're either going to marry them or break up. Like, has any of you ever thought about the fact, that polarizing fact, that when you go into a relationship with someone, you're either going to fucking marry them or break up with them. There's no in between. You can't just stay together forever. You can, but everyone's going to be like, well, when are you getting married? Or why aren't you married yet? Blah, blah, blah. It's one of those weird things. Some people can live in that state of, like, sometimes you get two people that are like cool, totally chill to live without fucking any legalities whatsoever fucking evers for the rest of their days. And that's goddamn gravy for them. It's not a tangible reality for a lot of people. So most of the time you're going to be with someone and you're either going to end up marrying them or breaking up with them. Simple as that. Certain aspects of character come with PTSD, not the good kind most of the time, but some do. Resilience often comes with working through PTSD. Tenacity and resilience are two good things that can come out of working through your through any post-traumatic stress. People say I have problems with people, but it's the world that has a problem with me. I think you've both got a little problem with each other. I think the world's got a bit of a problem with you. I think you've got a bit of a problem with people. That's my answer. Exactly. Whatever, someone would look at the outside of my situation that I was in at the time and want what I had. They didn't know what I was going through in the background, and I would constantly have people wanting what I had because they were seeing it at face value. I was like, you don't want this. That's fine. Train wrecks. It's only my thought that goes off the rails, okay? I went off the rails a long time ago, picked myself back up again, and I moved on with my life. Thank you for the Headpats, Viv. The third option is that you can continually have weekends where you play D&D together, leading to undercover activities before you buy pizza and do this for the next 13 years, before eventually robbing a bank in the southeast of Spain and living out your lives as two separate identities. Say you couldn't do that if you got married. Exactly. If you love her, give her cheese. What's that thing where it's like, if you love something, set it free? If you love something, give it cheese. Nessa Noxx 2024. Yeah, a lot of people do be quick out here to judge. That'd just be the way of the world because things are like a 10-second economy now. Like, you've basically got, let's call it a minute economy, okay? A 60-second economy. You hand in a resume to somewhere, you've probably got about 60 seconds worth of attention when they start reading that resume to when their attention, that's it, going in the bin. A lot of short form content now, like YouTube videos, TikToks, Shorts, Instagram, that sort of thing. People will give you about 60 seconds or less. You're going to be lucky. Average is 10. Average people make up their mind as to whether they like content between the first 4 to 10 seconds of watching it. So that is literally a very short fucking, you know what I mean? A very short amount of time. So then you apply that to real life, where you're not some on the screen and they can just slip past you and whatever. So they are literally taking that same mentality and applying it to you in the IRL, and they are making their judgment in the first 4 to 10 seconds of meeting someone without even like, and I say meeting as in like seeing them off the street. I ain't even meaning like meeting them as in like face to face, getting to know you all sort of thing. So people do be like that because it's just it's a 60-second culture now. People are, they expect things to grab their attention within that amount of time, that if you as a person don't necessarily have the traits that kind of appeal to them in that set amount of time, they're kind of just going to pass that judgment of like, okay, they're probably not worth my time, which sucks because if we go back in time, back in the day, and stay with me here, guys, we're going to do a little bit of time traveling, but just stay with me. If you go back in time, there used to be a day where fucking TikTok and shit didn't exist. Yeah? Oh my God, there was a day before Instagram existed. There was a day before. Attention spans have gotten shorter and shorter and shorter as time has gone on. There used to be this whole, like, you go to the movies and you sit and you watch the trailers, then you watch the movie. That's a 3.5 hour stint. Everything's transferred to online now, so you can pause your Netflix when you want. You can have what you want at your convenience. So then sometimes when you come across as an inconvenience for someone, because it means they've got to either get to know you or change their perspective or change their perception because they've encountered you, that's probably where that immediate judgment's going to come from. Most of the time, it's a safety mechanism to kind of shield themselves from looking too stupid. And they end up coming off like looking just like a bag of dicks anyway. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. If you're planning on getting into a relationship with Hay, it is marriage or nothing. It's marriage or bust. If that isn't your end goal too, maybe you aren't ready for a relationship. Some people aren't in the same place as other people. I think that's why like all this polyamory and stuff exists now, and all these different like relationship statuses and sexualities and things. You just got to give people enough of what they can kind of find a comfort zone in, and then just obviously put a name on it. Yeah, well, I talk about my love of cheese, but I'm for real though. I got lactose intolerance. I was about to say out the wazoo, but it's for real though. Walker, welcome back. Back in the day, talking about pulling things by horse and cart. Max a minute for a person may judge on you. You don't want to do any of those judgments. Yeah, for real. Like, you can spend a whole day polishing a mirror and then like slip over and in 10 seconds you've smashed the whole thing. Shit applies to everything, y'all. Doesn't matter how much hard work you put in. That's why I say that you guys got to do things for the absolute love of it at the present moment, rather than the hopes and the future goals and dreams of whatever the fuck else. You've actually got to find enjoyment and fulfillment in it in that present moment. Because if you're doing something in a long-term sense for like that end goal, like what? Are you only going to be happy when you reach that end goal? You're not happy of like the work you're putting in the meantime and the progress you're making and the person you're becoming? Like, come on now. Yeah, I uninstalled TikTok. I definitely find myself having a lot more attention span and time now, but It didn't used to be that way for me, but it turned into that because I was seeking distraction from a lot of personal things. So I found myself doom scrolling quite a bit. Remember when we used to socialize and we actually called people on the phone? Oh my god. Attention spans be non-existent. Take it from someone who streams. The fact that I keep all of your attention for a long period of time is an absolute bloody miracle to me. Every time I stream, I'm like, y'all still want to listen to me? This is crazy. I work, had an early lunch. Nice, let's go. I ain't venting. I'm out here keeping it real. It's actually because chat asked me to do an ASMR ramble, which has now turned into Nessa Noxx gives you life advice whilst half cut. I love the word dabbled. I have dabbled in polyamory. I have dipped my toe in the pond of polyamory. The polyamorous pond. Oh yes, I've taken a dip once or twice. I've dabbled. I'm so sorry, I'm making an absolute joke. But dabbled in polyamory before while I can emotionally handle it. It says, hey, it runs out your social battery. Hey, yo, for real, but. For real, for real. I don't think I could barely handle. I can barely handle the fact that, okay, I go out to my living room and I go to give attention to one of my dogs, and automatically the other two are like, but we want your attention too, mother. I'm like, is this what polyamory is like? Is that for real? Like you go to take one of them on a date and the other two, it's like The Bachelor, like the little waiting room in The Bachelor, like one of us gets the date card tonight. I don't know. I can relate. I have a limited amount of attention, and unfortunately most of mine gets put towards either my work or my fur children, my dogs and my cats. So my furry little ones. They get most of my attention these days. Oh yeah, that's how we got here. That's how we got here. I find it easier to talk to. Texting takes me a while. Discord, I'm good with the whole tippy-typey, whatever, like tippy-chappa-cat. Talking on the phone for the first time kind of gives me a little social anxiety because, hey, your girl's still out here being anxious little fucking noodle. But once I get my confidence up, I'm a lot better when I talk to people because at the end of the day, I can express myself a little better rather than sitting there like going through and erasing what I've typed out like 10 million times because I'm like, does it come across like I'm saying this? Okay, Walker, see you soon. I always worry. I'm like, how does it come across? I don't want to come across like bitch. I'm glad you find me captivating. Hey, yo, eyes up here. Eyes up here, beast. Eyes up here. You can educate him. I don't mind. Maybe because listening to things you don't know is how you learn stuff. Yes, it is. Absolutely. Do you know what I fucking love? I actually fucking love being proven wrong sometimes and learning that I was actually ignorant about something. I didn't used to love that. I used to fucking hate it. And I used to automatically get on the defense. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm trying to talk them out of their way of like, no, 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 no. Now I'm self-aware enough to be like, fuck, I didn't actually know that. Thank you for informing me and educating me. Because then what if I come off ignorant to someone that like... I never want to come off ignorant to someone where it's actually going to affect them in a really negative way. So the more I can learn consistently as I get older about stuff, the better I think I can handle things in my life, than thus handling like how other people handle it as a result of me. You know what I mean? If I had stuff happen to me and I was like, life is so shit, and I came on stream and I was like, life's so shit, isn't it, guys? You wouldn't feel good about life. Fuck that. Upper limit's 3. We're cutting it off. We're cutting it off. My max is 2. Twitter, TikTok, 2 realms you plan to never set foot in. They are cesspools. They're cesspools. Hey yo. Hey yo, we got an announcement. If you ever see Kyle PBF on Twitter or TikTok, he's a scam. He's a fake. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a catfish in the audience. Alright, you know what? You want some riz? I'll give you some little tipsy riz out here. Look. If I've got one dirty thing that I'm about to say tonight. If there's one dirty thing I'm going to say tonight, what should it be? God damn, you're catching me off guard. This always happens. Riz, And Rashid's tagged me, so now I'm distracted by a little orange box. Kyle, can I distract you with my box? Will you take that as Riz? I'm so sorry. I profusely apologize for everyone in the audience, especially those in the front row. Oh, shit, I needed a segue, okay? I needed something. I got stuck. So I just went full balls to the wall, literally. Which, I mean, Kyle, once again, wouldn't complain about. Hey, yo, 2 for 2. Oh, Lord, the box of Noxx. It's like Pandora's box. Those are 2 legs you don't want to open, sir. And so she isekai'd and she turned into a kettle. Oh my god. Holy shit, it's so hot in here. I need to switch my fan on. We're fine, we're fine. What an honor. I want to win off you. Put on my... Put on your monocle. What a gentleman. What's up, Nexus? What you miss? Thank you so much for the sub, T-Dog. Welcome to the lair. Nexus, what did you miss? Filthy Riz. That's why I'm apologizing. As usual. We've also been rambling for like a little less than an hour. Talking about boxes, yeah, apparently. Just box talk, you know how it is. Next one, some Riz as well. God damn. Now I need another segue. Speaking of segues, next, do you reckon if we went out on like a little cute segue date, that it would be too difficult to fuck on one of them? Or do you think it would add to the ambiance with the little back and forth with the balance? Little segue date? Yes, no? Yes, no, maybe? There's your Riz. You can imagine that. Give us good ideas. No. Aww. Thank you, Rashid. That's real sweet of you. Thank you. I will never give up on you guys. As long as you'll never give up on me. I'm never gonna give you up. I'm never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and hurt you. I'm giving you my stupid voice so I don't embarrass myself. Because singing in my normal voice would be more embarrassing, okay? The box of Noxx is a magical artifact that allows you to enter her realm as the box has a portal inside. Inside the portal, well, worlds abound, mysteries, lies, deceit. I'm doing what on a segue? People, oh my god, hey, out here with opening your box would be a blessing for all. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. Segue now, let's go. Oh, that's right, you're half... That's right, Nex. You're half deaf and you wanted me to scream into the mic. Oh, if we go on a segue day, I can just scream right into your ears as you pile drive me. Oh my god, that's actually getting too dirty. Okay, no, that's safe. We're safe. We need to save that shit for Patreon. I'm so sorry, YouTube. Don't. Nobody clap me. I'm so sorry. Beast, what accent would you like? The segue. There's no time to explain. Get on the segue. I would drive me into a wall after that embarrassing moment. Fucking Jesus. YouTube's gonna fucking knock on my door and be like, FBI. Oh, you give a choice between Russian or Irish? Oh my goodness. I'm not so bad at doing Russian. But I do have Irish in my blood, so it's a little easier and more natural for me, to be honest. Let's go Irish. Why not go Irish? Chat, I would like to remind you that no pile driving or box exploring will be happening in stream this evening. I don't watch wrestling. I appreciate the gentlemen that wrestle for their entertainment value. I do appreciate how sweaty they get in those costumes of theirs. I don't, my opinion of the WWE is that it's for little girls. Let's talk about MMA, not WWE. Let's just go full Conor McGregor. That's it, Nessa, I'm adding that to the script. Oh, fuck's sake. I should have charged you more. Best I can do is in my bed. Look, I've got bad experiences with wrestling, okay? All of y'all out here being like, oh, I want to have someone, I want to be in a relationship with someone. I was in a relationship with someone once. I came outside because they called for me. So I came outside. Do you think I could find them? No. They're hiding behind me, grabbed me by the waist, pile drive me into the bloody mattress. Broke me favourite necklace. Oh yeah, great relationship that was. That's why I don't like wrestling, because I've been wrestled, and it wasn't fun. But I did play this game called Rumble Roses when I was younger, and that for me was like a sexual awakening and a half. I'll tell you this for nothing. If you've played Rumble Roses, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, you need to Google it, because some of the bitches on there, oh, they put Tekken and Soul Calibur costumes to absolute shame. Absolute shame. I liked their little cut scenes when they're in the dressing room and things. Look, don't come for me, okay? I discovered my bisexuality at a very young age through female wrestling. Anyway. Ain't nobody pile driving me this way, that way, next day or Sunday. Thank you very much. Kyle, considering I've heard your VA voice, I would put you as the super slam man. Hello? Why are you coming out here trying to get Next to do it when you've got perfect capabilities? You say the courage dog. Signature move? Running away from me problems? Signature move would probably involve some sort of snack and method of distraction. Maybe I could just eat a donut and show me tits, and that would be my sexual that would be my special move. Fuck's sake. I don't know. Exactly. Dragon nose. Dragon nose. What a game that was. Oh my Christ. That was a wonderful game. Every pro wrestler has a well, there's a reason I don't have one, because I'm not a pro wrestler, am I? I've got the noodliest of limbs. You really think I'm going to be able to go out in some sort of ring, any sort of ring, and put up any sort of fight? Well, maybe if there were Krispy Kremes in the middle and I had to slap the shite out of someone to get them. Probably win then. Snaccubus, but I don't like it rough. I will have you know that just because I'm a succubus doesn't mean that I'm anyway sexually inclined to any sort of pre-specifications, alright? Plus, have you ever tried to fuck rough in the water? It's a bit hard, you know. You physically can't. You physically can't fuck rough in the water. The waters can be rough, but you can't fuck rough in them. So, you tell me how an aquatic succubus is meant to have rough, bloody love. God's sake. And if you go up onto the surface land, it's all well and good if you can find yourself a soft bed, but most of the time you're doing it on the fucking bank of a creek or something awful. Gods no. Run away from the problem when you can run to entirely new ones. Actually, yes, that could be my signature move. I can just yeet you into the void like I normally have stream elements do for me. Horror movies? I'm actually really good when it comes to like creepy movies. I actually really do like a good creepy horror movie. But when it comes to like really scary, like actual like demonic and stuff, like I'm not too sure whether I actually like Paranormal Activity when that first came out. That scared the shit out of me. And like, because I've dealt with paranormal stuff, so it actually does scare me like a little bit. But when it comes to like general horror stuff, like I kind of find things like more macabre, sort of like creepy, and like I've got like more of a morbid curiosity. Does that make sense? Got more of a morbid curiosity when it comes to that sort of shit, because I kind of like to watch people getting fucked up. But if it's actual like demonic fucked up, oh no, don't like that. Praise Jesus, praise the Lord. You know how to motivate me. I've told you all along, snacks. I'm motivated by food and the love of my puppies. The love of my puppies and my cats. The love of my community. Viv watched videos of Rumble Roses. Yes, they were very sexy. K-pop covers One Direction now. I've heard it all. Fuck's sake. Splatter horror. I can deal with, yeah, it's the ghosts and the demons I'm not really a fan of. Like the stuff you can, the stuff you kind of see, not a fan of. If it's the stuff that's like chasing them around the house and whatever else, it's like just do a bit more cardio. But splatter horror, what is splatter horror? Is splatter like grindhouse kind of movies? Because I really do like Death Proof from Quentin Tarantino. If you've seen it, if you've not. But grindhouse movies are actually quite entertaining. I find that sometimes the more blood, the less scary it is. Should I do that announcement in me regular voice, or do you want it in me Irish lass voice? In the red corner, the Baroness of Boom. The dominatrix of doom, the sovereign of snacks and the killer of the creek, Nessa Noxx. And in the blue corner, the undefeated champion, a big old fucking dildo. YouTube, don't eat me. What about the love of your cat boy? What about it? Because in between the horror and now... What? I'm so confused. We went from suspense and sci-fi to the love of your cowboy. I'm like, what movie is that? Killer Aliens 3 into the beginning. Oh, torture. Oh, yeah. Like Hostel and shit. Yeah. Saw 2 and Beyond Hostel, stuff like that. I'm finna lie to y'all, I got a morbid curiosity for how some of the saw traps work, okay? Like, I genuinely get weirded out that some of them, like, don't have an escape, and I'm just like, that gets me more angry than the fact that he put someone in a trap. I'm like, why make a trap that's inescapable? Like, that's catfishing someone. Like, I get so angry at Saw for that fact over everything else. I'm like, give him a chance. YouTube is not gonna like what? Anything I do. It's fine. I'm gonna be signing out soon anyway. Oh, good Kyle. Thank you so much. Hug for the road. Thank you. Giving you huggies as well. Yeah, that's what the genre is. Just I'm surprised YouTube let that in the chat, so I think that's fine, to be honest. But yes, be safe, Kyle. Anything to do with hospitals scares me. That's why I don't like I think that's why stuff like Silent Hill and stuff, like when there's actual like monsters, like demonic, like, you know, like Pyramid Head, like that ish is scary to me. Like, give me some regular guy running around with a big old cleaver, don't care, but put some big metal pyramid on his head, I'm like, ah. So I genuinely, and like, I don't like zombies and stuff. I think zombie movies are probably one of the worst ones for me because genuinely I'm like, that could happen, man. And I'm not good at cardio. If they're sprinters, I'm done for. They better be shamblers. If we ever have a zombie apocalypse, they better be shamblers. Lucky I don't have a fart command. Get out of here, Kyle. Sorry, I was just checking something. Sorry. Just checking something. And one of these things was the time. So, because it is getting to about that time when I normally say goodnight to you, I think I am going to slowly start signing off, but I would like to let you know that over the weekend, I'm going to be taking a break to game, taking a break to have some fun, and maybe even get out of my house on an adventure, depending on the temperature. What are you guys doing for the weekend? You got any exciting plans? You got anything fun planned? Let me know up in chat if you've got anything fun on the bun planned for the weekend. Because I sort of do, but I also sort of like just really want to fucking relax. So let me know what you're doing on the weekend. And then let me tell you what's happening next week. Oh yeah, no, I don't play zombie games. I hate them. Oh, that's true, Next. I never actually thought about that. And that gives me a little bit more confidence now. Decomposing bodies do actually come apart quite easily, do they not? Oh, I can't imagine them being able to run more than 200 meters. That gives me faith and hope. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you, Dragon. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. What you can look forward to is members. You got a video coming 12 hours early access tomorrow. Once 12 hours are up, then everyone else will get access to the audio. I will then be going back to semi-regular programming as of next week because I have also got a vote up at the moment to see which gaming series we're going to get started on. And so that's going to be what we jump into like next week. So kind of evening things out. Kind of just making sure we've got a nice old plan the next like week or so. I'm getting my injections next week, so at the moment like I haven't really figured out 100% whether I'm going to stream on Wednesday or not because that's the day I've got to get them done. So we'll see how we go. At this point, tentatively I'm probably going to say the stream will be like Tuesday and Friday. I might skip Wednesday, so you might only have 2 streams next week. There might be 3. We'll see how we go. But until next time, Beast is finishing up the project in March. We love it. Hayes, grocery shopping and gaming. Love that. Until next time, Beast. Mwah. Oh, Next. That's also true. Mwah. Thank you for the good zombie info. I appreciate you. Shade was in a movie. Let's go. Catch me in the server if you would like. Otherwise, the next time you can catch me streaming will be next week, Tuesday, 10 PM JST. In the meantime, behave yourselves. Love you very much. And I'll see you next time. Good night.